Hey guys, Kamakuno, and today I'm doing a review for The Amazing Spider-Man issue 694. And before I start talking about this issue, just want to remind you guys that I have a contest called Pre 1000 subscriber contest, which you guys give me ideas for a great 1000 subscriber video, and whoever wins, there'll be 3 winners, and whoever shares the video, whoever those 3 winners are will win some great prizes. So go ahead and comment on that video. But let's talk about The Amazing Spider-Man issue 694, which this is 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. Okay. About 7 more issues, 6 more issues. Well, including this issue, it'd be 7 more issues. And not including this issue, it'd be 6 more issues until this series is over. So they're really building this whole, well, Dan Slott is really building this whole story up, and I'm totally excited. Even though, go check out the live podcast from our live show on Dark Avenger C86 to see our thoughts about the Amazing Spider-Man cancellation, see more about that. But yeah, so the cancellation of Amazing Spider-Man of going to issue 700 and that being the end, it's a little sad, and but like I said, the next couple of issues are going to be a build up to ending this series also, so you have to remember that when you read this issue. But let's talk about what happened in this issue. With this issue, and there will be spoilers in this review because there's some pretty good stuff that happened in this issue that I kind of want to talk about, so if you haven't read it and you don't want no spoilers, then wait until you read the issue. But with this issue, we get to see Alpha just being the jerk he is, and having his celebrity status. And then there's this guy who's an alien who starts torturing New York and terrorizing New York. And Alpha's like, oh, I can help, Avengers, and he couldn't for some reason because of the suit this alien's wearing. So the Avengers tried to defeat this guy, but all the airplanes in the area, they have to go down and their power goes out or something. I don't know what fully happened with that, but Peter has to go to this airplane where Aunt May and Jay are on. So Peter helps them out and lands the plane, even though it's very hard. He lands the plane, and also we find out since that alien's tech, couldn't defeat Alpha. Peter uses this technology for Alpha not to have powers. So Alpha does not have his powers anymore, and they put it into this machine, and Alpha's a little pissed. Even though it seems like he has some powers, Peter's like, oh, you might have some, powers still, but you're not going to be as strong, and you're not going to be Alpha anymore. And also we get to see, since the plane crashed, not really crashed, but, got a little bit dented up, Aunt May hurt her leg, and she will not be able to walk as easily as she used to, so she'll have to use a cane. And also we get a good cliffhanger of the Hobgoblin coming back for this next story arc, which I think the next story arc has to do with all the goblins and stuff. So that should be interesting, seeing Kingsley coming back and just seeing what else Green Goblin maybe come back. So that should be pretty interesting. So I thought this issue was pretty good. The one thing I didn't like about this issue was the plane thing, which I just noticed. Like, you don't really know why Peter goes to this plane. He's like, oh, I gotta go Aunt May, Jay, they're harmed for some reason because of this alien. Even though they kind of weren't harmed, but they just kind of wanted Peter to go on that plane for some reason and have that story. I felt like Dan Slott kind of, rushed that. It's like, oh, we need him to go with Aunt May and Jay for some reason. Let's just make the plane in the area. So, I didn't really like how they kind of rushed that part. And also some of the art was a little on the sketchy side, when they're in the background. Like, this is the father who's talking on the phone, and it looks like the mother. And there's also Captain Marvel is a little sketchy. Like, things in the background get a little sketchy for some reason. But there's a lot of other good stuff that I would love to speculate about. One thing is the whole Aunt May thing. Aunt May having her leg, her being kind of crippled. I think that's going to show that maybe Aunt May won't survive until issue 700. Something big's supposed to happen. It's probably going to be a death, and I feel like this is like kind of leading up to Aunt May's death. Like, why make her leg harmed? Is it just because they want to move them back to New York because, them being in Boston was, boring? Or is it because they want to kill off Aunt May, I just have this gut feeling that they want to kill her off, and this is why she was in the hospital, and this is why her leg is, the way it is not just because they want to bring her in New York. I just have this gut feeling. Also, another thing that was kind of weird, that in this issue that Aunt May, because she thought she was gonna die on this plane, so she calls Peter, of course, saying, you're like a son to me, blah blah. But Peter, Spider-Man, has his headset on for Aunt May because like I always forget the calls for Aunt May, so gotta pick them up, and so it kind of echoes like when Aunt May's talking. It says in Spider-Man's mask that he's answering. Do they hear that when Aunt May is calling Peter that Spider-Man has the same phone call? Spider-Man's Peter Parker? I don't know, maybe Aunt May is kind of stupid, or she does know, and if she dies, they could kind of tie that up, saying Aunt May knows. I'm telling you, this is leading up to Aunt May's death. My guess is, at least. And, I mean, I do care if it happens, because, she's an awesome character, and, is an amazing character, but also she is getting older, and, it's reasonable if she dies. And I think that's enough of a kind of blow to the readers also, that it is meaningful, but, it's not like, oh my god, this person just died. But it is very meaningful and will change the Marvel Universe forever. Unlike, like, Professor X, he was never used in, like, 10 years. He hasn't been used. So no one really cared about his death. But with Aunt May, she's been used, but, like, it's an understandable death because she's getting older. But yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff and a lot of things I feel like you could speculate about, and if you look back in this issue, it's gonna be like, that's why this happened. And especially the Alpha thing, him kind of still having powers. What's gonna happen with that? Is he gonna gate his powers still somehow and that thing didn't work? I'm telling you, I feel like this issue is a lot of hints, and a lot of hints for the future. It might not seem like a lot happened right now, but I feel like stuff is going to happen. This is one of my favorite comic book series, and it's very sad to see that it's going to be ending. But good thing that is getting canceled is leading up to this big ending, and I'm very excited for that. And at least Spider-Man's not ending, and I crossing my fingers that Dan Slott will still be on Spider-Man with this new series, because he is doing an amazing job with this, and he is one of my favorite writers for Spider-Man, and this is one of my favorite series. So this is a really good issue. Again, it just seems like they're dropping hints in this issue. You might not realize it now, but when that issue 700 comes and maybe you reread it, you're gonna be like, that's where they told us this was gonna happen. That's where those hints were dropped. So pick up this issue. Is really good. Again, there was maybe like art problem here and there, and maybe some stuff didn't make sense with the plane, but it was still a really good issue, and I'm gonna give it a 4.5. And pick up this issue. A lot of stuff happened, and I feel like this is just building up to this big issue 700. So just like don't miss the issue with Amazing Spider-Man. I just think a lot of stuff is gonna happen between these 7 issues, this issue, and the 6 more issues that are going to come. So pick this up, guys. This Comic Uno. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess 4.5. And guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno rant situations. Hope you guys enjoyed this Comic Uno. Bye, guys.